enough. I am Sarah LaJoy, and this is Becoming. So let's talk about it. Let me tell you about this one sentence that checked me this week. I was laying in bed, multiple alarms had gone off. I was awake, just not moving. And I thought to myself, I can't keep living on autopilot like this and expect to experience the full life that was promised to me. And that stopped me because autopilot doesn't look dramatic, it looks calm. Autopilot looks peaceful, but it's not intentional. And I want intentional. I want the mind of Jesus and the body of the baddest stripper. You heard that correctly. I want the mind of Jesus and the body of a stripper. I want spiritual depth. I want discipline. I want sharp thinking. I want self control. I want fruit. And I want results. But here's the uncomfortable part. I didn't feel like putting the work in. And that frustrated me. And it's not because I don't know how, it's not that I'm incapable. It's just that sometimes comfort feels easier than confronting myself. A 10-minute workout, yeah, I can do that. But what's the point if it's not my full body workout that, I'm so used to sweat dripping, an extra set here, an extra set there. So what's the point? 5 minutes in the word, I can definitely do that. But if I can't deep dive, cross reference, and really stretch my mind, I'll wait. And then I call it laziness. But is it really laziness? Or is it perfectionism disguising itself as discipline? Because if it's not all, I don't want some. And yeah, that's pride and maturity and a little bit of avoidance. So instead of asking myself what's wrong with me, I asked what feels off. And that's when things got real. Because what felt off, it wasn't my body, it wasn't my schedule, it was me. I was coasting in small areas, not failing and not spiraling, just coasting. And I know myself, when I start coasting, it usually means I'm swallowing something, I'm keeping peace somewhere, and I'm letting something slide. I'm choosing not to say something because I don't feel like dealing with the emotional labor of it. And every time I do that, it feels small in the moment, but internally it stacks. Silence on top of silence on top of silence. And stack silence, baby, it's heavy. It's heavy as hell. And weighted hearts don't feel like working out, don't feel like being creative, and weighted hearts damn sure don't feel like being disciplined. They feel tired. And that brought me to Psalm 61 2. It says, when my heart is overwhelmed, overwhelmed is the word that freed me. Because overwhelmed doesn't mean broken, it means overloaded. And I was overloaded, not with chaos, but with unspoken things. And Isaiah 30:15 says, in quietness and trust is your strength. And I realized something powerful. Strength isn't pushing through autopilot, strength is interrupting it. Strength is sitting long enough to say, okay, what am I carrying that I never released? Strength is confronting yourself before you start resenting everyone else. Because let's be honest, autopilot is just self-betrayal in slow motion. It's saying it's fine when it's not, choosing harmony over honesty, and peacekeeping over presence. And I can't live half awake and expect a full life. I can't want transformation and live casually, or want discipline and move emotionally. And I can't want death and avoid discomfort. That tension there, that's not shame, that's awareness. And awareness, honey, is growth. And once I admitted that I was coasting, I stopped attacking myself and I started realigning. So this morning, I didn't wake up and become this TikTok gym influencer. Not at all. I didn't even work out this morning, but I did stretch my body and I did some Bible time with my cousin. I got up this morning and was intentional. I washed my face, I moved my Bible, I moved my body, and I opened my Bible because I decided to choose presence over autopilot. And that right there was joy. It was so joyful. Not loud, not hyped, but just joyful. And the kind that says, I'm not disappearing in this season. So let me ask you, where are you coasting? Where are you choosing comfort over calling? Where are you saying it's fine when your spirit knows it's not? Because, honey, the promised life, it requires presence. And presence requires honesty. And honesty is uncomfortable before it's freeing. But, baby, you cannot live on autopilot and expect a full life. You just can't. And I had to remind myself of that because I refuse to disappear quietly. I refuse to betray myself. And I refuse to drift when I was called to build. And if you know that feeling, that tension in your chest, that's an invitation to wake up. Not dramatically, but intentionally. Every voice I share, every story I tell, it's so she walks away with something. Remember, I love y'all real bad, real bad.